Hi, everybody. It's Watchman. And on the Watchman's Report today, one of the hottest topics, you know what it is. It's all over the internet. What it is Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency market. And I have with me today a guy at one of the conferences, and Montegomery. And he's been in quite a while. I wished I'd been in it for as long as he had and didn't wait until it was 5,000 coin to buy. He's got his hands around the market. Marc, thank you so much for joining us today.
You bet. Happy to be here. I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to speak with your listeners and, let everybody know what's going on in the Bitcoin and cryptocurrency markets today.
Well, fantastic. Let's start out with, Bitcoin has seen some volatility lately. And I think, I used to be a currency trader on Wall Street. It's interesting because people are saying, oh my gosh, it's fallen apart. It went from 20 down to 10. Now it's at 11. And these are the same people that bought under it. And so, they're saying, oh, I lost $10,000. No, you didn't. $10,000 because you haven't sold it yet. Where do you see Bitcoin right now, and what do you think caused that volatility?
Well, I still am very, very excited about the opportunity that Bitcoin gives us. People that are smart enough to get in now, even at $11,500, which is what it was just a few minutes ago, that's obviously way higher than that $500 mark you talked about earlier, but it's way, way lower than the $100,000 or more that it's going to go to, and that's what the guys that are billionaires in the crypto or billionaires in the technology world, like Bill Gates and Richard Branson and Peter Thiel and John McAfee, all of these guys say that Bitcoin really $100,000 is the low point. I mean, there's people that are very credible people saying it'll go to $1 million. So we're still at a bargain basement price right now. It has definitely been a very interesting, last 2 months. Back in November, we were all hoping we were going to hit, and then lo and behold, we hit $20,000 before Christmas. But then, if you've been watching this at all, you know that shortly after Christmas, the price started dropping. And we kind of leveled out at about 14,000 for a long time, but now we have dropped down a little more, and now, I mean, we were down in below 10,000. But you got to remember, we were hoping it was going to hit, or excited that it would hit 10,000 by Christmas. Well, now we're disappointed that it's not at 20,000. But the thing is, we've taken a little dip. But there are reasons for that, and I'll address those in a second. But I had looked and just thought it was interesting. Oh, great. Kelly, please bring me a towel. I just spilled a cup of tea all over my computer. So anyway, what I was saying is that we started 1 year ago today, the 19th of January, 2017. Bitcoin was at $879 a coin. So in 1 year, we have had way, way over 1,000% increase in the price of Bitcoin in 1 year. So that really is kind of unheard of to see that happen. The reason it's been happening is threefold that I see. One is when they included Bitcoin into the futures market. Everybody was saying that was going to cause the price to actually go way, way, way up. And those predictions were wrong. because with the advent of the futures market, the price really started it really slowed down and even started dropping some. And then most recently, China and South Korea governments have both been putting a lot of talk about putting regulations on cryptocurrency and Bitcoin exchanges in South Korea and in China. Those have caused some concern for people in the market. And there is really a fourth reason too, and that is that when we hit 20,000, you got to realize there were a lot of Bitcoin holders that thought that was a good time to take their profits out, and so they sold at 20,000, and of course that's going to drop the price too. So there've been some different factors, and we got to realize that Bitcoin is a worldwide currency in a worldwide market, and here in America we're awful focused or only country in the world that really seems to matter. But when it comes to cryptocurrency and Bitcoin, it's definitely a world market. So things that happen in China and South Korea definitely dramatically affect those prices when the people in those countries stop buying or start selling.
Yeah, that makes sense, and I want to try and give people a little perspective, when we have a lot of people, as you said, people in the tech world, also in the financial world, saying that Bitcoin will go to 100,000. When I worked in Wall Street, Hathaway came out, $1,000 a share, and everybody thought, oh, that's just ridiculous. I mean, this is just, what is this? It's never going to grow from this point. Berkshire Hathaway is now $200,000 a share, I think. I haven't looked at it lately, but I looked at it around Christmas. And so there is the possibility. There's always a little bubble in the crypto markets. But what do you think that are saying will go to 100,000 this year? What do you feel will fuel that kind of growth?
Really, I think it's the people. As people start waking up. Well, and also, it's twofold. The first fold is that the dollar is going to continue to inflate. It's going to get less and less value around the world. And people are gonna, are moving to cryptocurrencies and especially Bitcoin as a place to get their money out of that dollar. With the way the American government is printing so much money, it's just, what I want to say is the past experiences are. I mean, you look at look at Germany, before World War II, and the different things is that, the government starts printing money, bad things happen. That's all there is to it. And people don't trust the banks anymore. And so people all over the world, and that's, in America, I know that a lot of people don't trust our government, but I would think it's probably safe to say that there's a huge percentage of the population in America that still think that our government is looking after our best interests. And, but think about the people around the world in South America and in Africa and the different countries around the world where everybody knows the governments are corrupt, and everybody knows that they can't trust their government. Well, Bitcoin is very, very attractive to those people. And so as more and more come on to this emerging new currency, the price is just going to keep going up and up and up. And so, it is going to be fueled. The actual reason it goes up is because more and more people want it. But the reason more and more people want it is because they don't trust our government.
I would completely agree with that. I would say, you know, that it's just interesting to watch as these governments, and you're absolutely right. There are a world where people just accept the fact that the government's corrupt. You're right. We still have a portion of the population that thinks, yes, the government has our best interest at heart. Now, what do you think will be the effect? And I haven't heard in the last hour, but in fact, if we have a government shutdown, do you think that will drive the price of Bitcoin today?
You know, it's funny. I personally think a government shutdown's a good thing. If they're shut down and the less things that's happening down there in Washington, the better off we are. But I do think those kind of things are all what get people starting to look at Bitcoin and think about more. That helps the cryptocurrency, you know, and the government. You know, one point I want to make too is, you know, the government realizes that blockchain technology, and which is what fuels or makes cryptocurrency possible, you know, for the future. You know, there's real heavy talk now of a Fed coin coming out, and which would be the you know, the U.S. government coming out with a cryptocurrency. But what they don't realize is it's not going to work, because what they're doing is a centralized currency. And what makes Bitcoin exciting is that it is decentralized, and that you know, the government shouldn't be able to you know, control our lives based on the money that you know, on the fact that they control the money. You know, and you know, there's other countries that are talking about it. South Korea is talking about coming out with their own cryptocurrency and all this, but they won't be embraced around the world like Bitcoin, because the reason Bitcoin's exciting is we don't want the government involved in our currency.
That brings up an interesting point. A lot of Christians, because you say it's technology, a lot of Christians feel that Bitcoin beast, or leading up to it. But, you know, this is the times that we're in right now. And what would somebody that asked you, well, what percentage of my portfolio do you think I should have in Bitcoin?
Well, I am not an investment counselor, right? And but I'll tell you, I would not have any money in the stock market. I don't have any money in the stock market, and I wouldn't, because I believe it's really ripe for a crash. You know, and it doesn't matter if it's in 1 month or 1 year or 5 years. If I got my money in there and it crashes, you know, it's gone. So I think that, you know, you really, gold, silver, and cryptocurrencies, and Bitcoin especially. I'm very, very big on Bitcoin. You know, all other cryptocurrencies sail on the ocean that Bitcoin created. And it is the granddaddy. It's the one that is by far the most valuable. The one that is, you know, that all the experts are, you know, saying it's going to go to $100,000 or even $1 million a coin. You know, there are people that say Ethereum has a lot of really great, you know, features to it, and it's going to go really big. Right now, Ripple's pretty big. People really like Ripple. You know, and there's certainly nothing wrong with investing in other cryptocurrencies, but I think that, you know, Bitcoin, like I say, I'm very, very big on Bitcoin. I just think it's the one that's going to go to that $1 million coin. You know, now if you buy Ripple, you know, I don't even know what the price of Ripple is right now, but it's, you know, just a few pennies or something. So, or maybe a few dollars, I'm not even sure. But when you buy those at a low price, if they go up higher, you can certainly do very, very well with those other cryptocurrencies. But I think in the long term, Bitcoin's the one to be in myself. Although, like I say, nothing wrong with owning others. But I wouldn't have any money in the stock market. I certainly wouldn't have it in cash, obviously. You know, there's bonds and stuff like that too. But then again, you're buying government bonds. You know, so I have all my money in Bitcoin.
Well, let me ask you this: do you think that the other cryptocurrencies that have come out, I think that's somewhat diluted the market?
I'm sorry, you broke up. I didn't hear the question.
Do you think that the other cryptocurrencies that have come out diluted Bitcoin's market?
Yeah, they have for sure, but you know, I don't think that's a bad thing. You know, when you come across a good thing, and one, you know, it's like we never would have a car if they didn't invent the wheel. You know, well, we never would have had all these other, you know, the blockchain technology is moving us into a whole new technological world that is going to change the world more than the internet has. Blockchain technology, I mean, we are moving into an internet of things where everything that you have electronic will be tied together and assigned to you through blockchain technology. And the things you're going to be able to do, we don't even really know yet because they haven't invented the car yet, you know, kind of thing. This is such a new technology, and these guys are coming up with all sorts of new things that are happening because of blockchain technology. Contracts are all going to be on blockchain technology. The ownership of things will all be on blockchain. You'll be able to you know, like your car won't start if you're not in it because the car knows that you own it. You know, it's blockchain technology is going to make driverless cars very easy to make happen and be safe and viable. It's because of blockchain technology. Now, I just heard that is coming out with a driverless car that is has no steering wheel even. So even if you want to drive it, you can't. You know, you can't steer. The car is just going to do it. And that's all because of blockchain technology that things are happening. And it really is 5 years from now, the world will be a very different place than what it is today because of blockchain technology. And of course, blockchain technology is what makes what Bitcoin runs on.
Well, you know, Mark, not everybody has the $11,000, let's say, to buy a Bitcoin. So how do they get into the Bitcoin market if they can't buy an entire Bitcoin?
Well, Bitcoin can be divided out by 8 decimal points. So you can buy $100 worth of Bitcoin. You can buy $50 worth of Bitcoin if you want, no problem at all. So what I would recommend everybody to do is to get an account with a Bitcoin exchange or a cryptocurrency exchange like Coinbase. Coinbase.com is one. There's another one called Zappo. There's another one called Hold Up. Just a lot of different companies out there that do it. Gemini is another one. Gemini are all exchanges where you can get an account. And then once you have an account, you can just go buy not only blockchain, but other cryptocurrencies as well. Or not blockchain, I'm sorry, Bitcoin. Not just Bitcoin, but other currencies as well with any dollar amount that you want. So it doesn't have to be, you know, you don't have to have the 11,000. And really, if they're right, and it does go to $1 million a coin, you know, you just want to get as much as you can between now and I would say, you know, even up to $500,000 a coin. I mean, you think about it, if you buy it at $500,000 a coin and it goes up 50%, you know, 50% still is a pretty darn good increase. But really, you know, we're at 11,500 today. So, you know, just start buying Bitcoin. The name of the game is get as much Bitcoin as you possibly can and between now and when that price goes up. And it's going to go, I mean, they're saying, there's a very credible guy out there saying that Bitcoin's going to be at 40,000 by the end of the summer. You know, so I mean, that's a 400% increase over what it is today. So just, you don't have to buy $11,000 worth.
Absolutely. Now, Mark, we're running out of time today on the report, but tell me, how can people connect up with you if they want to discuss one-on-one with you about Bitcoin?
I'm happy to answer questions with people, do whatever I can to help them. Just call me, 406-439-2092. Hey, you know, one thing before you get off, I do want to just say real quick, people need to be really careful about companies out there that promise to grow your Bitcoin. There's a lot of scams out there. And also, even the legitimate companies are being shut down by the government because the government's saying that they're partaking in you know, trading, like exchange trading. So you can't, you know, just got to be careful. Buy your Bitcoin and hold it. Don't be giving it to other companies because you end up losing your money.
Very good advice. Very good advice. Well, Mark, thanks again so much for joining me. We're going to have you back on the show, basic basis, to do the crypto report. And I really want to thank you for taking time out of your day.
Happy to do it, Mike. We appreciate what you guys at Here the Watchmen are doing. God bless everybody. Oh, and you know, one thing, next time we talk, we need to address this, what you were talking about with the governments and Bitcoin and that, because there's you know, there's a lot going on there with the New World Order and all that. You were talking about the Antichrist. I want you to, you know, I definitely have some real strong opinions on that. I'd love to give them to you.
All right. Well, listen, we hope to see you at the conference in Dallas, March 27th. Want information on that, please go to Hear the Watchmen. We're looking forward to seeing everyone there. Use the promotional code 20 and receive $20 off your general admission ticket. And we also, just yesterday, announced portion of the conference. It's on the Vimeo platform. Go to hearthewatchmen.com and click on the button there for streaming, and you'll get all the details. So, folks, until the next time we see you here on the Watchmen's Report, each and every one of you, have a wonderful, blessed weekend, and pay attention to Mark. Get your money and go into Bitcoin on the Watchmen's
Thanks, Mike.
Report.